guilty of 8 total counts of criminal conduct, 1 count of conspiracy, and 7 counts of honest services wire fraud. And Councilmember Bobby Henon, guilty of 10 total counts, 1 count of conspiracy, 1 count of bribery, and 8 counts of honest services wire fraud. We respect the jury's verdict and we thank them. Today is an important day. This verdict is an important verdict. Today's verdict is a strong message to the political power players of this city and any city that the citizens of Philadelphia will not tolerate public corruption as business as usual. It is not just the cost of doing business. The evidence showed, and the jury's verdict reflects, that this bribery scheme was concealed for years from the public. Henon's salary was the covert mechanism for paying the bribes. Much of what Henon did was not, in fact, on public display, but was behind closed doors. All the public knew was that Henon drew a salary from Local 98, not that he was expected to do John Dougherty's bidding, regardless of what was in the public's interest. John Dougherty is not above the law. Councilman Bobby Henon is not above the law. John Dougherty is not entitled to and had no right to pull the strings of official city business as if he were elected to office. And Bobby Henon was not elected to represent Local 98 or John Dougherty's interests on city council or any union for that matter, but to represent all of the people of the city's 6th councilmanic district, a fact which he failed to remember in doing the bidding of his political godfather, John Dougherty. Philadelphians deserve more than a system that favors the few who have a person they can call to get things done. Everyone deserves equal access to the decision makers of the government. Now at this point, I have a lot of people to thank. I want to recognize the case team from the U.S. Attorney's Office who presented the government's case in a compelling and logical manner. They worked extraordinarily hard in the pursuit of justice. They are standing behind me, Assistant United States Attorneys Rich Barrett, B. Witzlaven, and Frank Costello. I also want to thank the case team and the many, many federal agencies who worked extraordinarily hard for years over the course of this investigation. Many of the agencies are represented by individuals behind me. They include FBI, IRS Criminal Investigations, the Department of Labor Office of Labor Management Standards, the Department of Labor Employee Benefits Security Administration, and the Department of Labor Office of Inspector General. All of those agencies, including the FBI agents who stood by the side of the prosecutors throughout this lengthy and complicated trial, have worked extraordinarily hard in the pursuit of justice. Now, we do have 2 trials remaining. We look forward to trying the 2 separate cases involving Mr. Dougherty, one with his Local 98 associates and the other with his nephew, Gregory Fioca. Because we have 2 trials pending, I will not be able to answer many questions, but I will be able to answer a few.
How important was the wiretaps? The use of the wiretaps that you played extensively in court. How important were they to you today?
Wiretaps were played extensively throughout the trial and formed an important piece of the government's case.
What kind of time did they take?
A lot of factors go into sentencing defendants, so it really is impossible to predict what sentences they will receive, but the sentencing have been scheduled for late February.
John Dougherty remains on the streets of Philadelphia. Is he a danger to the community as far as your office is concerned?
The government did make a motion today in court to have him immediately detained pending sentencing. The judge heard the factual recitation from the government and the defense and ruled against the government, allowing Mr. Dougherty out on bail. We respect the court's decision.
You spent an extraordinary...
to other council members who also have second jobs.
There is nothing prohibiting council members from holding second jobs. At issue in this case was the fact that the salary paid to Bobby Henon was a bribe in disguise. And this verdict should send a message to council members and to Philadelphians and to all elected officials that you cannot hide a bribe in the form of salary. There's no special interest that is entitled to
lot of time and money on this trial. Can you?
For specifics on the schemes and all of that, I ask you to contact Jennifer Crandall on the
You spent a lot of time and money on this trial, as you said. Could you just explain to the people who pay this why it was worth it?
We in the Department of Justice and all of the agencies behind us pursue the mission of justice in all that we do. We operate in the pursuit of justice in all of our investigations. This is one such investigation out of many, and it is our duty, it is our mission to pursue justice in all circumstances. And the jury has spoken, justice has been served.
The not guilty charge, which of the crimes, alleged crimes,
For those details, I'll ask you to contact Jennifer Crandall. She will have all of that information.
Can you just offer some clarity on honest service wire fraud charges? Why some were guilty and not guilty in terms of why some payments would be corrupt versus not others?
I certainly can't speculate on the jury's thinking. The jury did find both defendants guilty of many counts, and we respect that verdict.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, there you have it.